Hello, my readers. Welcome to another week of June. This week we are talking about joy. We are again going through the fruits of the Spirit, and number 2 is joy. So that's what we're going to be talking about this week. And this week, as we discover more about joy, I hope that you can help them bring out the joy. And all of this is obviously through the Holy Spirit and the way that He works. And so I do want to again reiterate the difference between happiness and joy. And so do that in your small groups too, is just talk about, okay, what is happiness and what is joy? And true joy can only be found in God. And so I do want to make sure that that point is put out there as well, is that we can find happiness in very temporary things, right? We can find happiness if we get a new phone, a new game, a new whatever, but that's not joy. And joy is all about finding God's light in every situation, right? And so that's kind of what I want to point out today. So as first activity, what you're going to do is it's going to be an opening activity, and it's going to be a guessing game for them. So what you're going to do is have some sort of category that you think of in your mind and your mind only, okay? With this category, you're going to tell the kids, I am going to say, give you a question that you can ask, and basically they're going to have to insert different things into this question to figure out what the category is supposed to be, okay? So for instance, okay, you're gonna say something like, blank can come through the green door, okay? And the green door being like, okay, this actually is the category that I'm working on, right? So say that you are thinking of, and they don't know this, but you are thinking of, okay, things that are soft, right? And so if you're thinking of things that are soft, then they have to ask different questions that go along with what can go through that door, if it's soft or not. And so they won't know to ask if it's soft or not, but they will try to ask different things like, can a bear go through the green door? And you're going to have to answer yes or no, okay? And so I don't know how soft bears really are. You can even say maybe if you're not really sure about that, but you can say a piece of wood. And you would say no to that one, right? But then you could say a stuffed animal, or they would say a stuffed animal, and you would say, yes, that can come through the green door, okay? And so try to figure it out to where they can figure out what actually the category is, right? You can do color categories, you can do food categories, you can do whatever you think of, just to where they figure out, okay, this goes through the door, this doesn't go through the door, and then they can figure out what the category is. That'll be a really fun one, just to get them thinking and moving, okay? This next one, you'll need some ping pong balls. And with these ping pong balls, there's 2 different ways to play this, okay? One way to play it with a ping pong ball is to get them into groups of pairs, and then have like a line taped down the middle. Put the ping pong ball in between the 2 pairs of kids as they go down the line. And then their goal is to blow that ping pong ball to where it goes on the other team's side, okay? So they're actually against their teammate or their opponent, or whatever you want to call them, their groupings. They're against those. And so whichever ping pong balls are on, whatever more ping pong balls are on the opposite side, then that team wins, okay? So you can play it like that, or you can play it to where it's a just race for everyone, and everyone gets a ping pong ball, and you can tape a line, 2 lines or whatever down the room, one on one side of the room, one on the other, and then you can take that ping pong ball, each kid has one, they'll put it at the start line, and then when you say go, they'll race with their ping pong ball, only using their breath to get it to the finish line. And so you can play either one of those, but basically just different ways to get them moving, get the energy flowing for them, okay? Then we're gonna go up to large group and hear about how the apostles were treated badly, but how they chose joy in every situation. And because they chose joy, they were looking at God the whole time, and that's exactly what we're supposed to do. When we're going through something hard, we can also choose joy. And again, that joy is only found in God. We can't just, necessarily look at the positive situation and find God inside of that, but we can choose to rely on the Holy Spirit's power of joy. And so this next one, you have a play it out activity card, and with this, you're going to basically be recreating the whole story with your kids. And so you'll have some costume, different items and stuff like that. You may not have enough costume items for your kids, but we're gonna do our best that we can, okay? And anyway, you'll have different cards for each one of the kids, okay? And they'll get to act out whatever's on this card. And so you have a list of things, of the different characters and whatnot on your curriculum as well. And so just follow this to the T for this one. It'll really help with this story, because there are some intricate parts to this story, but it is a good way to act it out as well, okay? This next one is going to take a while. If you have time to do it, do it. If not, just skip it altogether. But it's basically you're making a scratch off card, and the scratch off card has like rainbow colors and stuff underneath, whatever color that they want to color it. And so you'll have these, and you'll be able to, you'll set out some colored special markers that we have, not the regular markers that you have in your bins, but special ones that are like more oil based. And so they'll go ahead and color that. After they're done coloring that, then you'll actually take a black marker, which is also a special black marker, and then they can color over the original color that they had, okay? And the goal of this is for us to say like, okay, when we're in a dark situation, right? Because you'll have like a dark whatever over the thing, you'll take a toothpick and then start scratching that off. And with that, you're going to be like, okay, when you're in a dark situation, when something does not look like it has any light, remember to choose joy, right? Remember to find joy in God. And when we do that, you can take that toothpick and start scratching off the black. And when you start scratching off the black, you'll reveal the color underneath. And that's when we can find joy no matter what's going on in our lives, right? Okay, this next one you'll have some noodles, and these noodles are pre-made for you and whatnot, and it has some labels on it. And these noodles are your memory verse activity. And so what they're going to do is race you'll split up your group into two teams. They'll race to go get this one piece of the noodle, race to bring it back, and then they have to put it back in order. Now it's the fruits of the Spirit, and so it sounds like they can be kind of all mixed together, but you'll probably have some church kids in there that can put them in order pretty easily. And so have them open their Bibles and look through it with their Bibles as well. That's totally fine, right? They can use their Bibles to make this happen, but basically they'll stack up the pool noodle in order of the memory verse, okay? So see if they can do that. And again, the pool noodles have the actual verse written on it, okay? Then your prayer time. And so take those scratching little things that they made earlier, and they can take those home. But with that, be like, look, let's choose joy no matter what's going on in our lives, right? Even when things don't look right, even when things look dark, we can remember to scratch off and use the joy that God has given us through the Holy Spirit to actually bring that out inside of us, right? So that's it for this week, guys. Thank you so much for all that you guys do. Y'all are amazing. See you soon.